This is probably one of the things that a lot of marketers struggle with when they first start with influencer marketing. And that is that brands, they're overly prescriptive in their direction to creators. And you have these creators who've built an audience from scratch, from the ground up. They have done it through really good and engaging content, and they've done that consistently. So they've built a brand around their handle, around their name, and people are proactively hitting the button and saying, I subscribe to this, I want this, I want to see more of this in my feed. And again, that's a result of really good and really consistent content. And then you have brands who come in and they want to work with these creators, but then they tell them what to say, what the creative should look like. And they give them, they're overly prescriptive in their direction to the creator, which sort of sterilizes them and removes sort of all the authenticity in the partnership and in the content. And so when brands are giving creative direction from creators, this is a poll that went out to creators, their preferred way to work with brands is they like to be given boundaries and sort of high level direction, but then they want the freedom to create. And so when brands are working with creators, that's what we suggest. That's what we recommend. Give them boundaries, set campaign objectives and goals, and then let the creator do their thing. That's what they're great at.
And those campaign objectives and goals are revenue driven, right? Like these are sales. This isn't just, they're not kind of likes and comments. These are real business objectives.
Many times brands do campaigns. They run campaigns with the objective of conversions, acquisitions. We do that very, very often. And it's very normal. In fact, I would say influencers maybe struggle more with that because a lot of them can't move product. They cannot sell anything because the reality is their following is a sham, right? They've done some black hat tactics. They've built their following through, by just buying them. And so creators are more open and more reliable when it comes to those bottom funnel campaigns. But influencer marketing is one of those channels that you can use top, middle, bottom of funnel, very much like your Facebook ads. You have Facebook ads that you can run or paid social ads that you run at the top of the funnel to either educate people or teach people or build reputation. And there are ads that you use for conversion and you optimize against those objectives. And influencer marketing isn't so different. You can use influencer marketing to build a reputation around your brand. You can, if we spend all this time when we do branding exercises building our brand archetypes, right? Like, oh, my brand is rebellious. And so we're gonna make our tone very rebellious. But what you're trying to do is make your brand take on human characteristics and human traits. There's a hack for that. And one of the hacks is influencer marketing. If you look at Nespresso and you think of what Nespresso sort of embodies as a brand, George Clooney is the personification of Nespresso. If you think of Nespresso, the pod, as a human being, when I think of it, I think of George Clooney. That's a great way to use creators at the top of the funnel to help build your personality, to help build your reputation. And then you can go down the funnel, teach your customers or your potential consumers how to use your product, the context that it's used in. Influencers are great for that. Creators are great for that. And then at the bottom of the funnel, use them to move product and drive purchases and acquisitions. And so historically, it's been like influencer marketing, top of funnel. That's it, And then more recently, it's probably just like, no, if they're not driving acquisitions, it's all wrong. And there's depending on what your objectives are and depending on what you're trying to do, you can execute programs with creators to hit those objectives.